third pole card for the French Grand Prix. I'm not gonna bore you with the whole qualifying. I'm just gonna show you my fastest lap in Q1, Q2, and Q3. So we start with with Q1, of course. Let's see. As I do set the fastest sector. We go now on to the DRS straight towards the chicane. As you can see on the minimap, I'm just as quick as the AI, so I'm not losing any time here. Quick through the chicane into third, pick it up to fourth, and get on your gas. A little bit of oversteer there. We don't set the fast middle sector. Or are we still on good pace? Latifi sets the first time on the board, which is a 31.3. And we are closing up to Norris. He really needs to get out of my way or speed up. I go almost too wide there. Just a little bit too wide for my comfort. Then into the last two corners. A little bit sharp. Just cut it nice. Don't take the curb too much because you will get oversteer. DRS open. And we go over the finish. Let's see where we can put that. A 30.0. Only half a tenth away from P1. Then on Q2, we tried for the mediums. I'm only gonna show you the last part of the lap. You can see it's never going to be enough. It's it's more than a second slower. Go on to my second lap in Q2 and my fastest lap in Q2 for this running. In the first two corners we lose a little bit of time on our medium run. As you can see in the first sector I lose a lot of time, but I win it back in the last corner of the first sector. Lost quite a few, quite much time, but I've made up towards the DRS straight. And we win, of course, a little bit of time because the soft tires are just a little bit quicker on the straights. To the chicane we go. We already win 3/10 in the chicane alone, which is just really good, but it's not going to be enough. I set the fastest middle sector though. If I this 4/10, it's not going to be enough. I'm gonna need a little bit more time in the last sector. And again, as you can see in that corner, I'm 1.2 seconds up already. I'm gonna win a lot of time in the last sector. 1.3 seconds up. Gonna put me down again to a 1:31. Not gonna be close to my Q1 time, but it's good enough. We're gonna set a 1:30.661. Let's see what we can win on our previous time. Only 6 seconds left when we crossed the line, so we went out like really late. So to the first two corners we win time. Really good winning time in the first sector. Right then into the, let's see what we get at the end of sector 1. We don't set the fast, we lose a lot of time, 2/10 down on our previous time. Lose a little, win a little bit of time with accelerating out of the corner. Just gives me 1.5 them back. A lot of time, but last lap. Let's see, into the chicane. I win a little bit of time and now I have a snap of oversteer, so I lose quite a lot again. no fastest sector again. I am down by quite a little bit. I need to win like 5 tenths in the last sector to get close to pole position. Win a little bit of time out of that corner and into the last 2 corners we go. Let's see if we can win a little bit of more time. I outbrake myself. I was 3 tenths up, which could have been good enough. I only break myself to P5, which is just really unfortunate, but I messed it up myself. Lewis Hamilton is gonna start at the front of the pack. ROETGAH is gonna start P2 and I'm gonna start P. 5 red lights, it's lights out and away we go. Perez gets an amazing start but a lot of oversteer, so there's not much room. I get passed by Grosjean. Let's see what I can do on this first lap. There's one on the outside. I get hit and I go straight. Get on the track back safely. We're gonna try and get into the first section. And Hamilton forces ROETGAH wide, so ROETGAH really, and I go around the outside of ROETGAH. It just gives me the place. He has lost a little bit of time, so he was P2, now down to P6. We're gonna have to make up time to catch Grosjean, to catch Perez. Perez and Grosjean fighting into the chicane, which is really gonna hold them up. See, I need to brake a little bit harder, and Perez is so wide and so slow, so I overtake him, put him overtake button, and get close to Grosjean to overtake him as well, a double overtake. ROETGAH has also passed Perez, which is really nice. He has closed the gap to Grosjean. He's really close. Has he overtaken him? He has overtaken him into the fast corner. He stayed on the inside. And we need to close the gap to Raikkonen and Hamilton. Let's see what kind of pace they drive. Now at the end of the first lap we are 1.5 tenths down to Raikkonen, almost 1.5 tenths. And Hamilton sets the fastest lap. And in lap 5 Hamilton pits really early on lap 5 already, so his tires have to be worn down. He's on to the mediums and he's dropped a lot of places. Then we are 1.7 away from Raikkonen. I'm not really that quick through turn 1 and 2. And on to lap 6 in the last sector. I go really wide and I go into the pits behind Raikkonen. Let's see where we get. ROETGAH is gonna continue. He's gonna pit next lap. And into the pits we go. Let's see. Of course it's a 2.6 and I got held up. I got held up. It's really unfortunate. Cost me a little bit of time. Raikkonen, and as you can see Raikkonen has gone on to another set of softs, which is really interesting, and he has come out behind Hamilton. Now, as we come out of the pits, we have been held up too much and we are behind our teammate, which is not really a big problem, just a little bit unfortunate for us. Now, me and ROETGAH have closed the gap to Hamilton and the rest of the pack, so we have a little DRS train. In lap 10, ROETGAH on the main straight. I do get DRS, but I'm way too far, and ROETGAH is going to do an attack on Hamilton on the inside of the chicane. He is past him, so he's holding up Hamilton a little bit so I can catch up. Let's see what I can do in sector 1. Of course, in these corners you want to stay behind him, but as close as possible. And you want to get as close as possible as you can into the fast left-hander, and then onto the DRS straight. Use DRS, use a little bit of overtake, rich mix, and we breeze past him like Verstappen did in 2021. Raikkonen has passed Leclerc and ROETGAH has passed Leclerc. I'm really close to Leclerc. Let's see what Leclerc is gonna do. Leclerc is gonna dive in. I'm now close to ROETGAH and Raikkonen again. We are P5 and P6. The suggested strategy for the front runner was a 2-stopper. So we're gonna have to stop another time. Gonna have to stop soon as well. Then ROETGAH is gonna make a lunge down the inside for the lead of the race. Gonna hold up Raikkonen, and as you can see, I'm right up his ass. See if we can do something down this. Yes, we are gonna do it into the fast corner. We go to 7th gear just to give him space. We leave him space on the outside. Let's see what we do. If we outbrake him, we do outbraking. He gives us the place, and we are in P2. And then on lap 19, I decided to pit. I pitted way later than the rest to see if that works, but as you can see, I still lost place to ROETGAH and the medium to hard runners. They did a one-stop strategy, which just really worked out because Russell is now in P1. Ricciardo and Gasly and Latifi are in the top 4. So the one-stopper has really worked out for them. Close to me, I've got Magnussen and Raikkonen. Raikkonen on new mediums. And I have new mediums. Top 3-4 laps later. On lap 21, we have closed the gap to Latifi. We had 3 tenths behind him. Stay close to him. Walked away a little bit. I used a little bit of overtake on this onto the DRS zone. Turn it off at the DRS zone, and let's see what we can do. We don't breeze. Yeah, we go past him before the chicane, but we don't take the outside line, so we need to cut it a little bit shorter. We need to walk away from him, and we have done that. And as you can see on the timing sheets, Magnussen and Raikkonen have also overtaken it. Now I've closed the gap on lap 27. I've closed the gap to Ricciardo, so this is for P4. He's gonna defend really hard. I go in the inside, and he still launches it around the outside, which gives me a little bit of front wing damage. And I unfortunately not gonna overtake Ricciardo, which is just unfortunate. And the order stays like this. And we have the driver today, Pierre Gasly. As you can see, Russell, with his win, has taken P6 in the championship standings. I've, with my P5, come into the standings. Finally on P7. Then in the constructors, AlphaTauri and Williams have taken a P4 and P5 in the championship standing with over 100 points.